Hello and welcome to this pretty much a trial run of Thank You For Not Defending. For anybody who reads the show regularly, you realise I put this in a blog. It was more of a written blog last time, where I used some GIFs to illustrate my point. Well, we thought this time, let's have a go. Let's have a go with a camera. Now, we're using a Fujifilm handheld camera, so I mean, this is very basic stuff. You'll see there is a bed, well, it's not even, it's a duvet cover, really, behind me. And I'm sitting at my table in my living room and this camera is being propped up on an ironing board. So, professional stuff. Right, what we're going to go through for this one, we're only going to do one goal because, Jesus, we're flying at the seat of our pants already here, is we're going to focus on the game on Friday night between Motherwell and Dundee United and look at Motherwell's goal, the only goal in the game, scored by Iain Vigurs. Now, it was... Dundee United had played well up to that point, definitely the better side of the two, but there was just a few mistakes in this goal that I'd quite like to highlight. Not just the one, I think there's 4 mistakes in general, and I'm going to talk you through them now one by one. But before we do anything else, I think we should concentrate on the goal itself first of all. I think it's about 10 minutes to the second half, maybe slightly less than that. Ball forward, Dundee United don't deal with it. Sutton onto Lasley onto Vigurs, decent touch, sets himself up well, goal 1-0, and that was the only goal of the game. He steals Gareth Bale's celebration as well. So, as a Spurs fan, I don't really know what I think of that. I don't know if I like Gareth Bale anymore. Right, anyway, let's go through the goal. So we'll start with the kick out. Slow it down, as you'd probably be able to tell. I'll lay the full screen. Right. Stopped it there because I'd quite like to have a look at John Souttar's body language when the ball gets to him there. He's upright and he's too upright, he's almost leaning back. Now, sometimes defenders could do that, they lean back to make clearances, but Souttar doesn't try and make this clearance right away. He tries to control it. Now, if you're trying to control it, or you'd even try to move the ball to the side or whatever, or make a first time pass, you wouldn't really have your body language of that, and I think it's pretty clear that he just doesn't expect the ball to arrive at him. And he's just not anticipated it well enough, because it's all good defenders and strikers even should know you should always anticipate the ball not getting to you and being ready for the unexpected. He's just not ready there. He's a young lad, I'm not going to be too harsh on him. But let's just move this on a little bit forward. So he's miscontrolled it, Sutton's got the ball, stop it again there. Ignoring Sutton and Souttar and just looking to the right of them at Stuart Armstrong and Keith Lasley. Keith Lasley's already on the move. Now when this started, Armstrong had goal side of him, but he's just not tracked Lasley's run. Instead he's just kind of ball watching the play, which as we all know is tend to what Scottish football fans kind of like to do. Scottish football players kind of seem to do, but for this was the kind of problem with Armstrong throughout the game. He played a deeper role in the defensive midfielder position, and for the most part I thought he worked very well because he became an extra man in attack, and throughout Dundee United's attacks he was always there offering service, keeping the play going, and it was a main reason as to why they were so good in the first half. But there was still a couple of incidents when Motherwell went forward where he just didn't get back into that kind of, what we call the hole. He just wasn't there really protecting his back four, and this is just another instance of that. If he can learn this, because he's still a young player, not used to playing this position, with all his physical and technical attributes, I think he can make an absolutely brilliant modern day defensive midfielder. But this is really one of the first times he's played it. He's obviously made a mistake here because he just doesn't track Lasley as well as he uses for going forward. See, he kind of notices there, half-heartedly jogs, but he's not doing enough. Payton has to come forward to track the run of Lasley. It leaves Iain Vigurs now coming in off the left hand side. Vigurs has done absolutely nothing up until this point, but he recognises the danger, he attacks the space. Fast forward just a little bit on, the challenge is made on Lasley. It goes to Vigurs, but at this point you've just seen Foju turn his head and look towards this side of the stadium. I presume he's looking towards the linesman because I don't really know otherwise what he would be looking at. You can see that his head's still slightly turned even though his body's starting to go back that way. It doesn't make any sense. And I've not heard a good reason for it. I had one friend of the show, Murray Hughes, say that he thought that the challenge by Payton on Lasley had disorientated him somewhat, and he thought that the ball had maybe gone in this direction. But you can see there, his head's upright, he's not looking along the ground, and he'd be very disorientated if he thought the ball went in the air after that challenge. And also, we'll show it at this angle. Just give that full screen. There we go. This is just after he's turned his head, sorry, this is just before he's turned his head. And you can see there, Vigurs is in his sight line, and so is the ball. You can definitely see that beyond Payton and Lasley. And also you can tell for that angle as well, it offers up the other question, why is he looking at the linesman? There's no hint of offside there whatsoever. He is a good 3 or 4 yards, maybe even more, maybe he's 5 yards there, playing Vigurs onside. So we'll fast forward it on a little bit more, just to kind of show how this stopped him. It just made, because he was moving in this direction anyway, so when he looked at linesman, it just gave him that extra split second where he wasn't moving his run towards Vigurs. And we'll see here, you just kind of look, he has to curve his run almost towards Vigurs. Vigurs gets the shot away, the ball goes under his foot and goes into the back of the net. So there's a lot of mistakes here. That's probably the main one for me, because if he gets across in time, he blocks that shot, or at least gives Vigurs more of an angle to aim at. But there's one more to go through, and that is the Brado Czerniak in the Dundee United goal. Now, I have my sympathies, for the main reason as I would have my sympathies for most players in Scottish football, is that they're not playing at the highest level. They're expected to make mistakes, and this is one of these mistakes for me, and I'll show you what I mean. It's Vigurs just line up, take the shot, drills it well, nice and low, and you see there, just goes underneath his arm. Czerniak just doesn't get down in time. And the ball is, there must be about that much a gap. The ball goes under that. His wrist maybe isn't quite strong enough as it should be. And it's just one of those saves that if you're playing at the highest level, you should be making. But Czerniak's not playing at the highest level, probably won't ever. But if I'm playing devil's advocate, I would say that it's a save, I'd say 10 out of the 12 starting goalies in the Scottish Premier League probably wouldn't make. I'd maybe fancy Craig Gordon to make it, maybe one other, Alan Manus, a good shot. He does make that save, because it's so low down and hit so hard, it's save of the week, without question. So that's it. I hope this has worked fairly well, and our camera, who knows, and we might even, get a better bed sheet. Bye bye.